See, the biggest challenge we have in helping someone go from 0 to 7 figures is that you don't believe it's possible.
You're listening to the Profit First for Lawyers podcast, the official companion show to the book Profit First for Lawyers by RJon Robbins. Now, this podcast is for you if you want to bring home more profit while working fewer hours in the office, spending even more time with your loved ones, and turning your office into a lean, mean, profit-breathing machine. So if you're tired of working for your law firm instead of your law firm working for you, stay tuned for some really practical insights that will get you the results you've always wanted. It's time to put your BS aside for the next few minutes and put yourself, your family, your firm, and your profit first. Welcome back to another episode of the Profit First for Lawyers podcast. I'm your host, Carly, and today we are talking about one of the things you are most talented at, and which brings value to your clients, and how bringing that skill into your business plan may have the exact opposite effect. Now, you may remember in season 1, we did a full 7-part series on the 7 main parts of every successful and unsuccessful law firm, and how to bring the 7 main parts of your business into alignment. Now, the series was inspired by chapter 5 of the book, and some pretty fun to look back on, though not necessarily fun to live, moments from the recording studio where RJon narrated Profit First for Lawyers. If you didn't have a chance to watch that series, it's a ton of fun. We've got it linked in our show notes below for you. But today, we really wanted to distill the concept of the 7 main parts of every law firm, because as lawyers, you are some of the most educated and smart people in the world. But one of the pitfalls of most lawyers, at least that I've ever met, and one of the pitfalls that RJon often speaks about, is the tendency to overcomplicate things in your businesses, because your lawyer brain has a very different skill set than your business owner brain. And until you really appreciate the differences between the two, you might have a tendency to lawyerify your business plans. And RJon is about to tell you exactly why that just doesn't work. Now, I found this clip from all the way back in 2014. This is at one of How to Manage a Small Law Firm's now famous live quarterly meetings, or LQMs. You've heard us talk about them before. Now, if you're watching this episode on video, you're going to notice that the room is a little smaller, and RJon's hair is maybe a little darker. But the content that he's speaking about stands the test of time. This is still something that we're teaching more than a full decade later, and it's just as applicable today as the day that he said it. So without any further ado, let's roll the clip.
There are only 7 main parts of a successful business. For the rest of this weekend, I want to ask you to refrain from referring to yourself as a lawyer. Refrain from saying that you're an attorney. Refrain from saying that you have a law firm, because that's not what we're here about. We're here to turn you into successful business owners. So when someone asks what you do, you can say, I'm a business owner. You can say, I'm an entrepreneur, which are both true statements. And if someone says, well, what kind of business do you have? You can say, I have a business that sells legal services. I have a business that does these things. I have a business that helps build America one immigrant at a time. I have a business that helps people get out of unhappy relationships so they can get on with having a new life. I have a business that helps people. And from now on, I want you to think of yourself as business owners, as entrepreneurs who own businesses that make a profit as a byproduct, because your business is helping your clients to make a profit in their lives too. We're going to be talking a lot about the different stakeholders in your business. You are obviously a major stakeholder in your business. Your investors, i.e. your family, who have invested their time, their money, their energy. Listening to you bitch and complain is an investment. If you doubt me, talk to my wife. Your family is invested in your business. They want to know your business is going to make a profit for you, of course. They want to know your business is going to make a profit for them. We're sacrificing this time with you on the weekends. We're sacrificing this time with you in the evenings. We're sacrificing this time with you, and we're doing this with the expectation that it's going to make our lives together better. Not just more money, but we're doing this with the expectation that you're going to be a happier husband or a happier wife or a happier sister, brother, mother, father. They're expecting to make a return on that investment that they are making in your business. And I think you owe it to them because that's what we do. We make a return on investment to our investors. We give them a profit. Your clients are coming to you because they want to make a profit also. Your clients are coming to you because right now they have a situation they don't want. It could be a situation where they're facing something bad that they don't want to suffer from. It could be a situation that's potentially good, but they're frustrated because they don't know how to capitalize on it. In any case, they have a situation they don't want to be in, and they're coming to you because they're hoping that your service, your product, the experience you will deliver to them, they're hoping that that will give them a way to improve their situation. And anytime you exchange a situation that you don't want to be in for a situation you prefer to be in, what you've just done is you've made a profit, right? That's all that profit is. The 7 main parts are as follows. There's the marketing, which leads to the sales. Sales leads to the factory. Factory leads to the people. People leads to the physical plant. And the physical plant leads to the money and the metrics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's number 7? Number 7 is you. To appreciate that, you got to understand that this is a 2-dimensional image of a 7-figure business. In point of fact, this is a more realistic version. This is like a map of the city or the county or the world. It's 2-dimensional. What's more accurate than a map, a 2-dimensional map, of course, is a globe, right? So this is like the equivalent of a globe. There's the marketing, which leads to the sales, which leads to the factory, which leads to the people, which leads to the physical plant, which leads to the money and the metrics, which of course drives your marketing decision. And in the middle of this whole thing is the wild card. In the middle of this whole thing is the reason this doesn't work. It's you. See, the biggest challenge we have in helping someone go from 0 to 7 figures in 36 months, 48 months, that's all it really should take. The biggest challenge we've got is that you don't believe it's possible. And when you see it coming together, you screw it up because you don't believe it's possible. If you walked out of here and stepped onto the staircase, but you didn't believe the stairs would support your weight and lead you safely to the ground, you'd find a way not to go on those stairs, right? Because the marketing is very predictable. It's fairly mechanical. I'm going to teach you later today basically everything you need to know for marketing to build $1 million business. But the problem is, you're going to say, well, that couldn't possibly be all there is to it. It's got to be more complicated. But it doesn't. And I'm going to show you everything you need to know about sales in about 30 or 40 minutes to build $1 million business. But the problem is, you don't believe that's true. You don't believe it's possible. You think it's got to be more complicated. It's got to be because the people with $1 million business have better connections than me. That's it. It's got to be that the people with $1 million business are extroverts and I'm an introvert. That's it. It's got to be that they're taller. No. Tall people are intimidating, so it's got to be that they're shorter. No. It's got to be that they're better looking, because I read somewhere that better looking people have some sort of an advantage in certain situations, except that we got people who aren't that good looking who make a lot of money. What causes people to mess up the marketing and mess up the sales and mess up the factory and mess up their relationships with their people who they have working with them and mess up their physical plant and either fail to install appropriate metrics or ignore the numbers when the numbers are screaming at them. Hire someone, hire someone, hire someone. Go take a class, learn how to do this. Get a better office, get a bigger office. What causes people to ignore those metrics is they don't believe that the ultimate effect is actually possible.
If your law firm has plateaued, or if you've been struggling to grow or to scale or to make a profit, then this episode should make you really excited. Because running a law firm really is as simple as this when we boil it down. And that's why these concepts still work today. They have been proven. We've interviewed several law firm owners even just this season who've shared their own stories about this. And we work with hundreds of law firm owners who are thriving. And you can be too. So how do you take action on this? Well, number one, do the exercises. Write down each of the 7 main parts of your business that RJon talked about in chapter 5, right? We've got marketing, sales, production, people, physical plant, financial controls, and you, the owner's goals. Now, revisit those early episodes that I mentioned. Of course, they're linked in our show notes below for a more detailed breakdown on each of those, or of course, reread chapter 5 in the book. And then use those 7 main parts as the jumping off point for number 2, creating your business plan. It really does not need to be any more complicated than that. Simplify, simplify, simplify. If your business plan currently is dry and or boring and or reads like a treatise on some boring topic that you have absolutely no desire to visit, you need to make a new plan. Great business plans should be easy to read and understand and to follow. And then number 3, look at it. Regularly and often measure your success against it. Keep your business plan at the forefront of your mind. And if you do that, then you can be prepared to grab on with both hands to the better life that you've been dreaming of. And that's what we've got for you today, folks. Now stay tuned next time for even more great content that will help you build the law firm you've always wanted. We'll see you there. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Profit First for Lawyers podcast. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, tell a friend and buy your copy of the book at profitfirstforlawyers.com. Your future self will thank you for it, and we will see you next time.